Good morning. It's lovely to connect with you today. My name is Leanne Peters. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook, and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to pull some cards and share some guidance for this week ahead. That's this week, starting Wednesday, the 19th of July, through till Tuesday, the 25th of July, 2023. I was just sitting here preparing to come online, and I thought, this is one of my highlights of the week. I really love connecting in this way and just sort of getting a bit of guidance for the week. And then I really love connecting in with the guidance throughout the week once or twice to see how things are going and get my bearings along the week. So I find this is one of my personal highlights. So thank you for joining me. Hi, Susie. So I'm coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Wednesday the 19th of July, and it should be about 8:41. Exactly 8:41 actually AM. The sun is rising. It's kind of a bit annoying because finally we have no wind. It's been so windy for, it feels like weeks, but maybe it's just been 2 weeks. Maybe 10 days. Hi, Bridget. Hi, Valentina. It's been so windy, so I haven't been able to do any outside work as it's been windy, gusty and cold, and now it's calm, and it's like I don't have any time today to go outside. So it's just one of those strange things. Hi, Regina. So welcome. I want to send out an extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. So the plan is I'm going to be using my oracle cards that I created. I've got 2 decks here combined. We've got the Speed of Light oracle cards and the Animal Kingdom oracle cards. So these have been combined to make a 110 card deck. You can combine if you wish, or you can use the deck separately. So I'll be using this combined deck to find the best cards that the majority of us need for this week ahead. So yeah, just take on board what feels right. Let the rest go, and just think of this as a guide only. The way that you will know if this guidance fits for you is to come back and listen throughout the week. Please don't take my word for things. I guess if you've been listening to the guidance for a long period of time, I've been doing this for many years. If you've been listening for a while and you kind of know, and you have been listening back and you see how things fit into place, then you've probably already got a bit of a trust in the guidance. There's an element there. But if you're pretty new to connecting, or this is your first time or your third or your fourth time, then building a trust in the cards and what comes through is something that for me, it would be when I see the evidence in my life of what the cards have said. So come back and connect with the guidance throughout the week so that you can see how it fits for you, and then go from there. So I am shuffling the cards now. Let's just quickly reflect on last week's theme, which was the stag. And the stag was talking about our path and a new direction that's been potentially opening up for us. Maybe we're already starting to take steps in that new direction, or maybe we know it's coming and we're sort of lining ourselves up or preparing ourselves for the shift in our path. Direction tends to be about our path. So our life's path itself. Where are we going? What are we doing? What do we want? Those kinds of things. So we turn our attention now to the new reading week and open up to a blank canvas, and anything is possible. I have no cards out yet and no idea about what is going to be talked about. So I'm shuffling the cards and I'm asking the cards to show the majority of us what we need to know for this week, starting Wednesday the 19th of July through to Tuesday the 25th of July 2023. And I trust in my cards, and I trust that the best cards will find their way to the top of the deck. So the best cards for the 19th to the 25th of July 2023 for the majority of us are these. And I'm going to lay them face down, so I'm not going to see them either. And we've got a row of 4 at the top, 2 Animal Kingdom, 2 Speed of Light, and I've got a row of 4 underneath, which again is 2 Speed of Light and 2 Animal Kingdom. They're in a bit of a different order. And let's turn them over. So just bear with me a second. Okay, it's very straightforward. No featured cards today. So let's get straight into it. For Wednesday, the 19th of July, we have the Chameleon, card 3. The Chameleon reminds us to give something our fullest attention. So there might be something that really needs our attention on Wednesday, that it would be to our benefit to really focus on what needs to be done, and instead of procrastinating or putting things or something off. It would be a good day, and it feels very favourable actually on Wednesday to really get the tasks or the task are done, so that we can get that done and over. We may think, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow may come and we don't feel like it, or maybe something else comes up. So whatever we need to do Wednesday, we're being encouraged to really give it our fullest attention. Avoid distractions as well is part of that attention giving. So the opposite of that would be being distracted and doing other things except the task at hand. Well, we're being encouraged to try and ignore the distractions and focus on the task at hand. So let's just get it done. Whatever needs to be done, let's do it. And we may even find we do it quite quickly. And then maybe we have some free time. Maybe I might be able to go outside on this beautiful, calm day. We will see. Okay, so then we move to Thursday, the 20th of July. We have the Ladybug, card 31. The Ladybug says it's a favourable time. Yes, I do. I actually don't put the photo up, do I, on YouTube? I do share the photo for the cards on my Facebook page, Temple of Balance, and also on my Instagram, Temple of Balance. So hopefully you can look at the card picture there. So the Ladybug says it's a favourable time. This is our good luck card in the deck. So I think of this as good luck, and maybe even having a bit of the Midas touch. Things being in good flow, that sort of thing. Perhaps even an abundance that's potentially around on Thursday, where things seem to work out. Things seem to flow together fairly well. We might find we have extra funds or finances to do what we need to do on Thursday. We might find that we're in fairly good health in general on Thursday. We may just find things just almost falling into place or flowing really nicely on Thursday. So it'll be a great time, I think, a great time to go with the flow and really look at the things that are working and look at the people that are there and find and feel gratitude, genuine gratitude for the things that are working out and the things that are in flow. And I kind of want to move my hands as I'm talking like this, like, you know, like a zip, like we're zipping up and we've got a piece that locks in here and then a piece locks in and locks in and locks in, and things kind of zip together, a bit like a herringbone, I guess, or things locking in together. There's that sort of feeling with this. So let's allow things to lock in together, and let's try not to get in the way of that too much, because sometimes I guess there's a fine line balance sometimes with the flow, is how proactive we are in orchestrating and getting things lined up and locked in together, and how much we sort of step back and allow ourselves to move with the rhythm and the movement of our life at the time. And each time and each day, we could say, that we're doing or that we're sensitive or open to that will probably require a different response depending on what we're going through. So I go with the flow, but I like to be really proactive with that flow, and I like to sort of keep aware of myself, aware of how open or how closed I am or how sensitive I am to the movement of my life at the time. So see how involved you need to be, or how much you need to sort of step back a little bit and just move with that rhythm. It will just vary and depend on what's going on. Okay, Friday, the 21st of July, we have Purification. Now, we've got a couple of Purification cards. This is the first. It's card 8 called Purification, and it says Cleanse, Detox, and Toxins. So there is an opportunity on Friday for us to clear, to let go, to surrender, to purge things that we've been holding on to, especially it feels on an emotional level. So if you've been getting a little bit worked up or a lot worked up on an emotional level, then Friday seems to be like a good day to clear some of those pent up, bottled up, or loud emotions from your body, from our body, from blocking us from doing things, because this is what some of those energies can do. Some of those issues, or if we're awash with emotion that's really intense, it can actually block that flow. So what I like to try and do is not only go with the flow, but I like to feel my way forward. And sometimes that means moving through some big uncomfortable feeling, so I can move through that feeling and move out the other side. I think I may have talked about this last week, about feeling or flowing from one feeling to the next. And the more we ignore or deny how we feel, the more we become blocked and stagnant. So almost probably the first question I ask people when they say, I've been feeling blocked and stagnant or stuck in my life, one of the first things I'll ask is, are you feeling what you're feeling? Are you paying attention to your feeling? Because usually when we kind of go like that with our feelings and we're ignoring them for whatever reason, a grief's probably a really great example actually. The more we resist and avoid our feeling, the more stuck we become. So stuck is the opposite of flow. So if you've been feeling stuck, then maybe ask yourself, are you really letting yourself feel what you feel? And it doesn't mean you have to, I mean, sometimes the feelings as they emerge, we can be awash with feeling, but it doesn't mean we have to be an emotional wreck 24/7. We can be quite, in some ways, in control of our emotions. I don't know if control is quite the right word, but as we feel our way through, it sort of stabilizes us on an emotional level. Even if we have a heightened emotion like anger or grief that comes up, it may come up and we work through that, and then it tapers and it sort of filters down to the next feeling, which might be one of relief. So don't be afraid to feel our way through. And if there are pent up emotions, then it might be good on Friday to look at how we can purge and really work out how to let go of what we're holding on to. So holding on is like the opposite of letting go. So what are we holding on to? Is it holding on to a resistance of feeling? Is it holding on to the past? Are we holding on to an attitude or a story or a behavior or some he said, she said, something we can't get over? So what are we holding on to on Friday, and how can we potentially, is that working for us for one? Because if we think it is, then we won't really want to let go. If we don't think it's really working for us, then that opens the door a little bit to the possibility of release and the possibility of relief, really, because in release there's relief. So what are we holding on to tightly to on Friday, and how can we surrender and release that and release our hold? So purging, clearing, letting go on Friday, especially on an emotional level potentially. Okay, Saturday, the 22nd of July, we have card 51, the Temple of Macaw. This is one of my favorite cards because it has substance and it has structure, which is in energy I really like. It says manifestation, revelation, and purpose. First of all, this potentially highlights a building of some sort on Saturday that may be significant for some of us. It won't be our everyday building, but perhaps some building or something that's going on around us, or even a place that we visit that's quite structured, so some type of building that leaves perhaps an impact on us. So that can be part of this card. This card's also very much about structure and how we can find or perhaps consider if finding or allowing more structure in our life may be helpful. So structure I think of as order. So it could be looking for the order in the chaos. It could be when things are really unsettled and really crazy, or there's change that's happening in our life. It may be finding a bit of routine or getting a bit organized. Finding that order, that structure that we can manage and that fits in for our life, that we can use to help us. I see it now as like stepping stones through the chaos. So if it feels chaotic, and if it feels like you're in the middle of a storm, and if it feels like things are just like battering you and you're like going around in a washing machine and you feel topsy-turvy, you don't know which way's up or which way's down, then finding the order. It could be just a little bit of routine. It could be a little bit of simplification, perhaps, like, how can I just get through my day today because it's just a bit intense right now. So just, really simplifying and focusing on that feels like stepping stones through that chaos or through the storm that some of us may feel that we're in. So how can you find structure? It could be to do with how you spend your time as well. So structure or order or organization in your routine, in your schedule, that could also be included here. There's also a sense of manifestation, so something coming into form that you may be working on, something that is tangible, something that you can grip, something that you can see and that you can hold potentially in your life. And this card also has a strong sense of purpose. So that this structure energy that it contains also highlights that sense of purpose, feeling like we belong, feeling like there is a point to life. Because if we don't feel like there's any point to life, if we feel lost, or if we feel like we're lost in the chaos and we're out in the desert or out in a storm somewhere, then we're not feeling very purposeful, like we're not feeling much purpose in our life. We're perhaps feeling a bit lost or a lot lost. So by finding the order within that lostness or that uncertainty or that chaos, by finding the order in whatever way that works for us and that fits in and that feels right, creates those solid stepping stones that gives us some stability, if you like, some stability as we walk our way through and out of that storm that we might feel that we're in. So purpose brings that substance as well, that structure that perhaps some of us are looking for on Saturday. So there's big energy around for Saturday, and this is a fairly big card, like it feels like it has a lot contained within it, if you like. Okay, Sunday, I'm going to go for 2 cards for Sunday the 23rd. Sunday we have the butterfly and the frog. So the frog's another cleansing card. The butterfly, we could almost say as well, actually, both of these are very transforming animals. The butterfly moving from the caterpillar into the butterfly, the frog going from the tadpole into the frog. They're very transmuting, very transforming animals here for Sunday. So some of us may feel like we're shifting and we're changing, and we might notice that on Sunday if we stop and pay a little bit of attention, that we might notice that we've actually been changing a lot lately. And it doesn't usually happen overnight, so it's unlikely just to be this one day that we're changing today. No, it usually happens over a period of time. So some of us may find that we can reflect a little bit or a lot back perhaps on the last few years and see how much we've changed. Maybe we can think back, maybe there's a year that we had in the last 5 years or so that was a really impactful, challenging year. And perhaps from that being our turning point, how much have we shifted from that particular time? Like for me, it was 2019 when I had my fire, the fire in my workshop, and things I was dealing with my daughter, and like car accidents and all this sort of stuff. It was just all a very big year, 2019. Like COVID's nothing on what my 2019 was like. And you've probably got a year where you just had things happen that really changed for you, perhaps a loss or the passing of someone close to you. But thinking back from that time to now, how much have we changed? How much have we grown in that time? How much have we personally transformed, or maybe grown in a positive way from that particular situation? Now let's look at the cards themselves. Card 6, the butterfly. It says heart opening, freedom, passion, and action. So there is a lot of action and movement in this card, and we may feel reasonably active on Sunday. This is about connecting with our heart. There's a dreamy element to this card too. She's looking up, she's dreaming about the future potentially, or dreaming about the potential of what's next, dreaming about love, dreaming about greener pastures. So maybe something that we're dreaming about. There's a little grounding in this particular card, but there's a lot of heart, and there's a lot of movement from the heart, almost like these wings are like sails on a yacht, and the wind, the breeze of our life, the flow of our life picks up on these sails of our heart and really guides us forward. So there is that feeling here, but a lot of action potentially on Sunday. And we've got the frog, card 34, and it says to cleanse your environment. So this is the other cleansing, purging card. So on Sunday as well as Friday, there's a strong emphasis around clearing and purging. We may feel like spring cleaning around our environment, around us, cleaning out a wardrobe, cleaning a room or the attic or the basement. So we might be in that sort of mood as well. And part of that cleaning, the physical cleaning, is also very purging for us. We can work with the cleaning to help clean ourselves out on the inside, mentally, emotionally, and even physically. So let's see how we go with that on Sunday. Okay, Monday, the 24th of July, we have card 12, the Macaw. And the Macaw says bold and daring communication. So some of us may find that we need to, or we have to, speak up in a bold and daring way. So communication usually involves another person, unless we need to be bold and daring in communicating with ourselves. But it's most likely connected with another person that we may need to just be really confident and assertive in what we need to say to set things straight. Perhaps be careful that we're feeling like we have to defend ourselves, but maybe there is truth or how we feel that needs to be expressed. So finding the courage to do that in a really bold way might be important for some of us to clear the air or to get things off our chest. So that's for Monday. Now Tuesday, our little regular that pops in fairly regularly is the unicorn. And the unicorn is card 50 for Tuesday the 25th. And it says psychic gifts, spiritual intuition, and trust. This is such a regular card. I mean, it really does. There's not many weeks where the unicorn doesn't come up. This is very much highlighting our spirituality and the things that we find spiritually interesting or spiritually nourishing. And it could be anything that helps us feel connected in whatever it is that, or whatever we believe to be important to us spiritually. So that, for one, is quite important for Tuesday, our spiritual connections and honouring those. Like any relationship, all relationships require effort to maintain them. And our spiritual connections are no different. They require effort too. So we have to make time for our spiritual interests. We have to make time to go to church or step into nature or meditate. We have to make that time to honour and embody our spirituality and what that means for us. And you know, if you're not sure what your spirituality is and what that means to you, then maybe Tuesday's a great time to get your journal out and make a little bit of time to meditate. It could just be 5 or 10 minutes. And ask yourself these questions. Who am I spiritually? How could I define my spirituality? And what are important ways that I honour that spirituality for me? That fits in with my time, fits in with my schedule and my obligations and things like that. So that could be a great thing to explore if you're not sure. Also, this card highlights the third eye chakra with the unicorn's alicorn here. So really pronounced third eye chakra. This is about your intuition, your vision for the future, and your ability to trust in your intuition and trust in your life and trust in the decisions that you're making as you journey through your life. So is your trust a bit wavering or uncertain at the moment, especially Tuesday? Or can you take steps to really solidify your intuition, to give it a bit of weight, give it a bit of body through trusting your intuition more and seeing where that points you, seeing where that guides you? It almost feels like the alicorn is pointing to something where our intuition will hone in on that and what's right for us. Don't think that your intuition is what you intuit for other people, because that's like an external projecting of our intuition that is more can be a little bit controlling. Actually, I feel that you need to do this. I feel or think, or my third eye says you need to do that. I really avoid doing that unless I'm doing an actual reading for someone and they've requested that. I find it more powerful and helpful to me to trust my intuition for me. So I'm sitting here now doing a reading for us all, but I'm trusting my intuition in this moment. And I trust that you hopefully are trusting your intuition with the parts and the pieces that stand out for you and that you perhaps want to further explore for you. I'm not here projecting my intuition onto you. I'm embodying it, sharing it as best as I can, and you can do with it what you will. But just be careful. It's easy to say to others that you think that they should do this with your intuition. But actually, can you turn it back? Can you put a mirror up and can you bring your intuition a bit closer to home and really get to know it and work out how you can trust it to help you in your everyday life and not project it too much onto other people. That's just part of my ethics too, really. Because I find it really quite annoying to have people come up to me and say, I intuitively blah, 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 blah to me. It's like, no, I didn't ask for any connection in that way. You know, you work with your intuition to support you and trust it for you. I don't need any intuition back at me. I'm quite comfortable with my intuition for myself, if that makes sense. So it can be a bit confronting, that, because I know a lot of people do project that out to others because it's easier. So see how you go. Okay, well, thank you. There are our cards for this week. I am going to pull a card for the theme. So before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment, please share if you're inspired to. And if you'd prefer to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. And if you're watching on Facebook, please hit the follow button. Not that that really matters, but if you want to, please do. So if you'd like to learn more about my cards, my pendants and earrings and things that I make on my website, and there's stacks and stacks of other things that I've been creating over the last 18 plus years since I started Temple of Balance, then please visit templeofbalance.com.au. Thank you so much. Now let's grab our best card for the theme. So the theme will help bring this whole week together and help us see the bigger picture for this week. So I'm asking the cards to show the majority of us what we need to know from the 19th till the 25th of July 2023. So the best card for our theme is this. It's a Speed of Light Oracle card. And it's this, New Pathways. This is not dissimilar to the Stag, which was our theme last week about a new direction. This is New Pathways, card 18. And it says options, children, birth, choice, and life's path. This is showing, well, first of all, let's get the child thing out of the way. There's a childlike quality to this card. Children may be important, or coming in around you closely, or have some type of impact or importance out of the ordinary for you this week. And the child energy can bring an innocence or a childlike, a playful quality. So that may be part of what you're connecting in with this particular card. This card also opens paths in front of us. So it potentially shows us that there are options or paths that we can choose this week. And what I'm feeling is 4 or 5 paths or 4 or 5 options. So let's keep our options open. And I feel that these 4 or 5 paths, they sort of trail out from us, moving forward on the earth and move forward on in front of us, basically, our path moving forward. So there might be options for us to consider, and there may be choices that we need to make, because sometimes when we're at a bit of a crossroads, which can be potentially like what this feels like, if we're at a bit of a crossroads, we may need to decide and choose which path to take, what to do, what not to do, which path is stronger, that sort of thing. And really honing in, can we do 2 paths at once? Maybe sometimes we can. So it just depends on where we find ourselves. So I feel like maybe part of the cleansing too this week is to help clear and purge and let go of our putting things into a box, and maybe having things, what am I trying to say? Like taking things for granted, putting things in a box, or thinking that things have to be a certain exact way. Maybe there's a feeling of breaking down the box this week, breaking down the box to reveal other options. It could just be one option. It could be a second opinion on something, for example, that we want to proceed with and see what happens with that. So let's be careful we don't become boxed in. Let's break the box down. Let's consider other potential options and see where or if they lead us anywhere. They may not. Who knows? So we will see as things unfold. So there are the cards for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a fantastic week ahead. And happy birthday, happy anniversary if you're celebrating. I look forward to connecting with you again next week for the weekly guidance and perhaps some support videos in between. So take care. Namaste.